Hello everybody and welcome to the first ever episode of Film 101 where we teach you how to make those fancy moving pictures everybody's been talking about. I'm your host, Phil Kinney, and before we get started I want to talk about why we're here. Making movies can be expensive, trust me. So we want to give you simple techniques that will up their production value at a low cost because we want to see your small budget productions have a big budget feel. But alright, now that we got all that out of the way, let's get to what's really important. It is October, people. And what does that mean? That means lots and lots of deliciously sweet, bloody goodness. I love it. So that's what we're going to be teaching you today. We're going to be teaching you how to make your very own bucket o' blood. So, to the kitchen! I said, to the kitchen! You're supposed to, you have to whip the camera. When I say, to the kitchen, you gotta whip the camera. Whip it. No, don't do that. No, do it. You good?
Oh yeah,
You
I'm
ready
good,
now?
boy. You got
Good.
it.
Alright guys, today we're gonna be making some blood, some fake blood. So I don't really have a specific recipe that I follow, but I always start off with a little bit of water, just so it's not too thick, and then I go right in and adding the corn syrup. Get in there. So it depends on how much blood you actually want to do, is how much corn syrup you're going to use. I'm just going to be doing this as an example, so I'm going to use one bottle.
Then add a couple pinches of cornstarch and mix until you got a milky color.
And what this cornstarch is going to do is intensify the color of the reds and the blue. Alright, so when you do that, let's go ahead and mix it up.
Then go ahead and add the cocoa powder or chocolate syrup. Either one works. I just so happen to have cocoa powder, so that's what I used. This helps with keeping the blood nice and dark red once you add the red food coloring. And once you have that all mixed up, then you can go right into adding the red food coloring. Don't be shysty with it, add a bunch of it, you're going to need it. And now you can really tell that I'm getting the color that I want, and I always check the color on my skin just to get a feel of what it might look like on the actors. I like to add 1 drop of blue dye. It darkens it up just a little bit more, but that's all you need. You only need 1 drop. If you add more, you'll start getting a purple, like a purple blood, which might be cool for like alien blood or something, but right now we don't really need that. And now we're pretty much done. It's really that easy. So now all you have to do is strain it out and add any more red food coloring that you might want. It's really up to you. And for me, this is perfect. A nice dark red. This is how I like it. And the blood's gonna look different in camera, so before you start Spielberging it up, check out what it looks like in the camera first.
Alright guys, now that we've made a giant mess, let's put this blood to good use.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118,
Okay, so what we're going to be showing you is how to achieve that sweet, awesome blood effect you just saw.
You'll need plumber tubing, a trigger mechanism, a hose connector, and an air compressor. The trigger releases the air, disconnects the trigger to the hose, and the tubing houses the blood. Screw the connector to the trigger, push the trigger head into the tubing, and connect the whole thing to the air compressor hose via the hose connector. And that's it. Now pour the blood into the tubing, but don't fill it all the way up. Crimp it like this, and when you're ready, release the crimp and pull the trigger. And there you have it, a sweet, awesome blood canyon.
Well, alright guys, we've reached the end of our first episode. But make sure to come back next week because we have a brand new episode for you. But in the meantime, help us out by hitting those like and subscribe buttons down below. We love you forever, I promise.